What's up everyone? This is Ace10 Plays, and welcome to Among Us. This video is part of a series in which we take a tour of one of the maps in Among Us, showing how to complete all crewmate tasks, what sabotages are available for impostors, and how crewmates can counteract them. If you have a copy of the game, you can practice these tasks and sabotages yourself by going to Free Play. In this video, we'll be diving into the Polus map. Let's jump right in. Alright everyone, welcome to the dropship and welcome to Polus. Polus is probably an extraterrestrial planet. We don't know for sure, but that's likely what it is. Let's pop open the map. And this map is actually the largest of the three that are available right now. What we'll be doing is leaving the dropship and heading counterclockwise around the map, showing each individual room. Let's go. So from the dropship, we will head to the left. And this is electrical. Moving further to the left, security is directly south. And let's move further down. Here is O2, or oxygen, which actually goes into here, as well as into this room in the upper left. Down here is the boiler room. Okay, as we leave, we head back outside. This room up here is communications. And then down here is weapons. As we head into this building, we will be in the office. This is where emergency meetings happen, and this is where the emergency button is located. This is also part of the office. Once we are outside and north of the office, there's another smaller room to the north, just below the dropship, called storage. Just above us is dropship here. So let's head to the right. And we'll be inside the laboratory and med bay. Okay, from here, we're passing into med bay. Okay, and this is unique about the Polus map. This is kind of like the decontamination in the Mira HQ map. We'll need to use the door in order to get decontaminated. And from here, we can head through this very long hallway into the specimen room. Heading left out of specimen is another decontamination area. And this leads us to admin. From here, we're back in the office. Okay, our first two tasks are actually in the dropship. So let's head there. The first task is insert keys. Just click and drag the key to the highlighted keyhole, and then click and rotate the key. The next one is chart course. This is the same as the Mira HQ task and the Skeld task. From here, we're going to be heading down and to the left into electrical. The first task is our very favorite fix wiring, which is the same on all three maps. Once you fix the task in one location, you'll need to go to a couple of more. And the other task in electrical is download data, which is accessible here. This is exactly the same as the one in the Skeld. After you complete it in one location, you'll need to go to another location to complete the task. Okay, Okay, so let's go ahead and do those two. To finish our upload data task, we will need to go to communications and click the upload button. Okay, we will save our fixed wiring task for later, and let's assign some more tasks to boiler room and O2. Okay, first let's head to O2 or oxygen. So O2 will be in the bottom left part of the map. And here we are. The first task is to empty the garbage. This is very similar to the Skeld and Mira HQ. And it is just a one-part task. For monitor tree, head up to the tree in the top left of O2, and you'll need to adjust the sliders so that they are over the dashed lines. Alright, finally, we need to fill canisters. We can do that with the room to the left. Just click and drag each canister to the bottom until it's full. Pull it off, and then pull the second one onto it. Pull it off, and you're finished. For boiler room, we will need to do two different tasks here. One is replace water jug, and the second is open waterways. Let's do replace water jug first. Click on the button and hold it. And then you'll need to go to a second area in order to complete this task. For this one, we'll need to head to the office. And we're finished. Let's head back to the boiler room. The next task is a three-part task, open waterways. So click and drag the wheel and move it counterclockwise until it stops rotating, until the bar is full. And we'll have to do this a third time, and the third water wheel is actually outside and on the right side of weapons. There we are. And we're finished. The next few areas we'll be going to are the office, communications, and weapons. First, let's head to communications for the reboot Wi-Fi task. This one is another timed task like inspect sample, where you will need to drag the power all the way down. Please return in 60 seconds. So you can see the timer on the top left on your task list. So feel free to run around and complete some other tasks while you wait. Here is clear asteroids. This one is exactly the same as the Skeld, in which this is a visual task. It's hard to see on this screen as you're performing it, but if you notice to the left of asteroids, if you see this animating, then you will know that the crewmate performing the task is not an imposter. However, do keep in mind that if visual tasks are turned off in the lobby that you're playing in, then you cannot rely on that as an indicator that a crewmate is innocent. Looks like our Wi-Fi task is about to finish. When it says power on, then all you have to do is drag the slider all the way back up, wait a little bit, and then you're finished. Now let's head to the office. We have two tasks in the office, swipe card and scan boarding pass, and they are both in the room to the right of the meeting room. This is scan, or swipe card rather. Just like the one in the Skeld. And here is scan boarding pass. Simply click the yellow triangle, click on the arrow to flip your boarding pass around, and hold it over the scanner. Okay, the next areas we're going to be going to are specimen, medbay, laboratory, storage, and the outside. So first, let's head to specimen. There are two ways into specimen. If you're near the office, you can head through admin and through the hallway to the bottom. If you're closer to laboratory and medbay, you can instead head down through medbay and into that decontamination room. Since we're in the office, let's just simply head down through admin. And we'll wait a little bit as the decontamination does its thing. And here we are in specimen. Okay, so here is unlock manifolds. This is exactly the same task as the one in Mirror HQ and the Skeld, where you just click each number in sequence. This next task is start reactor. Again, that task is exactly the same as the Skeld and in Mirror HQ. The last task in Specimen is store artifacts. Here, just simply click and drag each artifact into its proper location. Okay, from here, let's head north towards Medbay. It should also be noted that sometimes decontamination has a fixed wiring panel. That's where this panel is. And there's one right here too. This is probably the laboratory's wiring panel. Okay, so in laboratory and medbay, we have the same visual task that we have in Mirror HQ and the Skeld. Okay, from there, we have inspect sample. This is very similar to the one in the Skeld where 5 test tubes will be tested and you'll have to return in 60 seconds. This task is align telescope. Here you'll need to move the telescope around until you see the object in the bottom right. And if you listen really closely, you can hear what almost sounds like a Geiger counter. And when the ticks are sounding very frequently, then you know that you're close. Wonderful. Let's head over here. This is record temperature. All you have to do is simply click and hold the controls on the left until the number matches the number on the right. Okay, looks like our inspect sample is finished. So here, simply just click the button underneath the test tube that is red, and you're finished. The last task in laboratory is repair drill. Simply head over here to the drill, and you'll have to repeatedly click each red square until it goes away. Each square has to be clicked 4 times. And that will complete that task. Now let's head outside. There are some tasks that we have outside. One is record temperature. This one is very similar to the one we just did in laboratory, and that is right here. Except instead of lowering the temperature, normally you will have to increase it. Okay, and the final task we have outside is in the very bottom left near weapons. And it is fix weather node. You will see this task pop up a lot outside. Simply click and drag the square through the maze from beginning to end. This is a 2-part task, so we'll need to head back to laboratory. To this panel, and you'll need to simply flip the switch next to the flashing label. Our last task is going to be in storage. Remember, storage is the room that is directly south of the dropship. Okay, and just like the Skeld, we will need to use this red gas can and go to 2 different places on the map and empty the gas can into them. And that completes all the tasks that we have in the Polus map. Now let's take a look at what the imposters can do. As an imposter, you have access to just about all the capabilities that you have on the other two maps, including lights, reactor, and communications. You also can close doors. The difference with doors in this map versus doors in the Skeld map are that the doors will stay closed permanently until someone goes up to them and uses them and flips the panels or flips the switches to open the door. Otherwise, they will stay closed indefinitely. This can help slow people down as they react to other sabotages. And by the way, let's take a look at those other sabotages. One of them is electrical, and you can turn off lights. This will greatly reduce the visibility of other crewmates. However, just like in the Skeld map, cameras are not affected by lights, and cameras can be accessed in the security room. Cameras also work a little bit differently than the Skeld map, where there are 6 cameras and you must rotate through all of them in order to see them. Whereas in the Skeld map, all 4 cameras can be viewed simultaneously. In order to fix lights, a player will need to go down into electrical and access the electrical panel here, and this acts just like Mirror HQ and the Skeld. The next sabotage that an imposter can perform is seismic stabilizers. This is very similar to Reactor, and in fact has the same icon as the Reactor sabotage in the other maps. However, it gives a 60-second countdown versus a shorter countdown in Mirror HQ and the Skeld. But it works the exact same way. One player will have to head to the right seismic stabilizer, and another player will have to head to the left seismic stabilizer. When both of them are on the respective stabilizers, use the panel and click and hold the hand icon to reset the seismic stabilizer in order to prevent an imposter win. The final sabotage that an imposter has access to is communications. When communications is sabotaged, cameras will not work, and other countermeasures that crewmates can use against the imposters also will not work. In order to repair comms, just head to the area that is highlighted, and like the other maps, rotate the dial until the waveform on the right matches the one on the left. Okay, and that fixes sabotages. Now let's take a look at what countermeasures the crewmates have against the imposters. Cameras is one of them, and we took a look at that a little while ago. Another option you have is admin. This is very similar to what the Skeld has, and that you can see where crewmates are located. However, this map does not show where crewmates are located if they are outside or in any hallways, only in the bright green areas here. Another countermeasure that crewmates have are vitals. Here shows the status of each crewmate. If a crewmate has just been killed and has not been discovered yet, then you will see the label above them show dead. Also, this will show disconnected players. And that will do it for the Polus map. If you're crewmate, happy task completing. And if you're an imposter, happy murdering. Take care.